All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy TYP336 here at YCS Charlotte 2022. We're sitting here with one of the top 32 contenders. State your name, please.
William Candia.
And what's your name?
I'm Elise Davis. I built his deck, basically.
She made this deck. I just piloted it. I net decked her. It's all right. It's okay. So I gotta give her full credit for this. You know, she get 50% of the cut. You know, and it'd be like that. Anyway, let's go. So yeah.
You came in third after Swift, correct? Mm-hmm. So, all right, cool deal. You want to just go ahead and get into the deck profile?
Yeah. So 3 safer. Best normal summon, it makes it a link 2 automatically. It's anything out of your deck gets black, gets white. And ideally, you're just making like Romulus and going like insane. Go having Tracer, you're going making Seal, you're doing whatever. Mm-hmm. No other normal summons generally besides like the Rockets, I guess. But like Chamber and those cards. I suppose you just want to see more hand traps with this.
Yeah. So the thought process between this deck build was like. Because I tried the Brave version of the deck before, and so I wanted to make this deck the most consistent I could with like just only having good cards in the deck. So there's 15 hand traps, and then the rest are just like dragon cards and then like the support cards. Mm-hmm. So the thought process is make this deck as consistent as possible, so that way you're playing every game effectively and not like scrambling the entire time, and you just don't draw bricks. So that's the thought process, and like playing just the right amount of every card, that it just comes up perfectly. So
also just playing 15 hand traps and 40 is just insane. You see like 2 and 60%, I think.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's very nice. Rockets, 3 Tracer, 2 Synchron, 1 Treasure. This is just standard. This is the best rocket in the deck.
You can cut one, but I like it for this version because one thing that's really nice too is like being able to use your Ravine not for a rocket and do it for like Levy and then like safer add it back. Like there's a lot of other cool plays that exist. So like not always having to rely on that is really nice, and just guaranteeing you see a rocket just jumpstarts your game.
Also, every game ideally you're just going Seal and then having Tracer. So what with safer and like something like 3 Tracer, so you have the Tracer already. So when you go safer, add black and just play it that way. You're always just going Chaos or Seal like almost every single game with this deck. But besides that, nothing really different. Extenders, 2 abs and 2 Nocto. You could ideally play 3 Nocto and 1 abs, but this is just better for like grind, like turn 3 going Ravine Send or Seal Summon, and then just having another normal summon on your turn. Right. Besides that, Nocto wasn't crazy, but when it comes up, it always is nice. It's just a free extender and you draw a card.
It just gets you there. I feel like it's like there's no other Dragonite play instead of this card. It was really
absolutely
nice.
not. Yeah, no, this was insane.
Yeah.
Hand trap, no, 1 ups. 1 black, 1 white, 1 Levy. So, these are just nice.
Like the only thing we could have otherwise played is Red as Darkness Metal, but I feel like it just wasn't as effective as it could have been, and like every other card just felt more important. Like the only thing it could have been was like take out the Tracer for it, but I felt like just having the pure consistency with the Rockets were just gonna end up being better. And even if they like maybe you on your Seal, there's still usually some other play you can make, so you end up not really missing the Red MD.
Yeah.
So I thought it ended up fine.
Like half the time I got in Nibiru this event, I would either like summon Nocto and make Dark Charmer and just play like that way from going second standpoint. From going first, like sometimes I'll have Chaos Room in graveyard. I think only one time I would have went Dark Charmer and passed. That was like the one time I regretted not having like a Red MD in my deck to make Savage or something. But besides that, it really wasn't necessary. I didn't get Lancet at all at this event, so maybe that aspect, like Red MD was fine to play, but by itself, I think it's just also not great to see in your opening.
Right.
Well. You'd rather just like search it or summon it, like out of like Seal or something. Hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Ogre, 3 Nib, 3 Gamer, and the Brick. So you want to
I guess. So like I think these 12 are very standard. These cards are all insane. The one choice that I was trying to think about was if I played Droll over this slot, because I wanted like a power hand trap, but Veiler actually trades really well with like everything, and sometimes like Droll can be a little bit more awkward. So I opted for it in the side deck and then just main this to just have like a little bit more versatility, because it's really easy to use all of these to get them to a point where they like can still go like Verte for DPE, and then this can just stop it, as opposed to Droll, which does nothing. So that's the reason why I chose those hand traps at least.
Yeah, also like this being a light this being white, this being white, this being white. I mean, this is Ash. Like, it's Ash.
Yeah.
Like, just being Chaos Space Father, just discarding and being able to search and just play that way is also amazing. Which is why Valor over something like Imperm, you know, and like you're not really scared of like Talons. I got Talons once this entire event, and it just never mattered. Like no one's playing Talons, so I mean I never got lost to a crossout or anything like that. I mean you see two of these and it's always just very good, even if it's just like Valor Ogre or Valor Ash. Like you're gonna play on your next turn, assuming your hand is just playable. Like a normal Tracer or just like a quick launch baseline is always just getting you to a Chaos Aura, and Chaos Aura gets anything.
Yeah,
like,
and what's really nice too is Zombie Vampire can like summon the Ogre, and then you can just use the Ogre from field. So like that play is cracked too.
Yeah, or like in my top 32 where I went Zombie summon Droll and then Seal bounced the Droll. Like that was insane. And it never mattered. But it's okay. We don't talk about it.
It feel like that.
But like Zombie by itself, just like it didn't come up a whole lot because like that's like Sword Soul and like any Brave deck when you mill Enchantress, that's just free pluses for them. So I rarely actually summon Zombie. I actually only summoned it in my top 32 match against a Thunder guy. So that was the only time I actually ever summoned that card. I think summoning it blind is terrible because imagine you just like go Zombie and you hit 2 tennies. God, no, that's Ogre. So anyway. Spell cards. This is pretty standard. 3 quick launch, 3 cast base, kill spells.
Okay.
There's like nothing to say about this except like why didn't we play like Titan or like a Callby in the main, like right?
Yeah, it's just like
Tiny is just again Tiny is just more cards where you want to see more hand traps instead. Titan as itself as an interruption is very good, but it's just not necessary when you make it turn 1 boards. Like I don't know how many games it was today where I went Savage, Seal, 2 hand traps and hand pass. That just always got me there. Or like Seal 3 hand traps and I just killed the next turn. Because,
Seal pass insane.
Because Dragon Link as a baseline is just not a very strong combo deck, but it puts up enough going turn 3 to go insane. Exactly, so when you have 15 hand traps and you're seeing 2 and you're making 1 or 2 interruptions, it's broken. It's just as good as making like DP Griffin or something like that. Well, Scythe is using Scythe.
Yeah.
But so no, it was crazy. Extra deck. This extra deck is just very standard to be honest. Striker, Pisty, 1 Spheres, like the second one it may have came up once for me in this whole event, but
I never missed it.
Just the second one just doesn't come up, so you want to save space for something else you want to play. Quadboral, Romulus, Tropoverse. This card was nice sometimes making like Pisty lines, like sometimes like turn 3 when like they have no cards, and then you go Dark Charmer, bring back, summon a Rocket, make Pisty with that, then go Tropoverse with the Dark in this. You know, that was crazy. And then something back anything that was banished. And then just playing from there, either killing them or making like Appaloosa boards. Yeah. So, I mean, this card was like, it wasn't great, but it still put in work. Dark Charmer, IP. This card came up a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
This card was like really weird because sometimes there'll be scenarios where like you just open nicer than you think. So you have Seal Savage and then you have the IP along with it. Like you guys had 2 other cards and like 1 hand trap in hand or just no hand traps.
This is a
but yeah, that card came up a lot today. This card came up no time today because my IP got stopped every time.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So Unicorn, Appo. Oh no. Unicorn, Appo, Access Code, and then 3 Synchros. These are just always necessary. These are broken.
Right.
And then the zombie card. This was like a flex spot. Honestly, this can be changed. Like this came up once this entire day. And like the Dragon Link deck by itself has 1 flex spot. So like this could be whatever you want it to be, but it's a little awkward.
I've been personally liking this card, so like with the amount of bricks that most decks like to play, it actually can hinder them a lot. And just getting the right, just like the little bit extra in your graveyard to like help you boost, and also like milling to see an extra chaos space is really good too. I think there's just enough applications where the card can come up. And I'll be honest, I looked through every option there was available here, and like Appaloosa was the last card I put in my extra deck thanks to Lund, but like every other card just didn't seem like it was ever going to put in work, and Zombie Vampire just felt like it would. I didn't like the card at the start of the format, but as I've played it, I've liked it a lot more. So
Yeah, I mean, like, again, like, I didn't make this a whole lot because it also, like, it gives us so much advantage, but also gives your opponent so much advantage. And sometimes just hitting a right is just, like, the best card of this format. That can literally clear a whole field like that. So,
but it feels really good milling DPE bricks.
Oh, that's like, like a desk bot or something.
Yeah, like, you sometimes just mill the right thing, and they can't make effective plays.
It just
and
comes out.
Mill the right thing. No, not my PK.
Side deck. 3 Joels. Shout out to John Mocha for stealing my ultimates.
Oh, you still didn't get them back?
Yeah.
Jeez.
3 Token Collector. This slapped. I played 5 Sword Soul. This went in when I went Chaos or Mill it. That was broken.
Yeah, no,
That was
like, just because
insane.
of that, like, I don't know. Every deck makes tokens, so, like, this card was just insane. And, like, Droll is just the next best hand trap, and, like, I didn't miss anything else, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, also generally, like 40 and 15 hand traps, and then having 6 on the side just helps you replace them. So, like, for example, like, the Flunder guy, I took out Ash and put in Droll. I mean, no, not Ash. I took out someone else and put in Droll. Whatever. But it was broken. 3 Gozen. This card, I sided this so much, but only activated it twice the entire event. I mean, when this card comes up, it just auto win button because, like, prank kids can't play this unless they have a line where they can go summon right, normal the Roxy's, but that's like super specific, and then get the spell. That's like an only scenario. And then other decks like where they just go into DP, where this just stops them. Like they just can't play. Like base or like any synchro deck, like Sword Soul, like they just can't play with this.
Literally, activate right, you know you're auto winning the match.
Yeah, like, yeah. Most of the time. Anyway,
I mean, yeah.
3 Twin. There was a part of me that was like thinking of playing like Lightning Storm for like something like Flunder.
But the thing is, Twin is better against Flunder.
No, Twin is better. It's just that, you know, when you're expecting to see a hand trap in Twin, and Twin is just broken because of how the trap and it goes in. I sided this twice this event. I sided versus Striker guy and the Thunder guy.
Yeah, it's just since we're not playing DPE or the Brave cards, you really can't afford to not have some form of background movement. So.
And then just like some random like rogue if I played it, but I didn't play a single rogue. I played a lot of like tier 1 meta, like tier 2 meta. Red Reaper and Harpies.
Yeah,
these were never sided in.
Going forward, like I cut this from like the list
Yeah.
I played this weekend, which I played like DP in my list, but like I definitely think these cards were cuttable, but
Yeah.
like in thery it was fine.
These two never went into my deck. And then for the last card was just Call By. The reason being, this card, and Gozen went into my deck almost like every single game for the reason in that when I'm going first, I'm taking out something like let's say I'm playing Thunder, right? I take out Nib. Or let's just say I'm playing against Sword Soul, so I take out Ash, right? Something like that where I could put in a Call By 3 Gozen. And then the Call By is just another interruption. It just helps me. So, in that aspect, like, Call By was insane. It came up once.
Yeah, like,
it came up once, but it was in my deck, like, every single
It was
match.
only in the side solely because I didn't feel like I could justify it in the main deck, but if I can, I would put it in the main deck.
I couldn't justify it also because, like, you can't tell if your opponent's just playing drop with Dark Warrior or, like 15 hand traps is going. So, like, having this in the side and just having a clear cut that you know that this card's going to put in work is nice. So, yeah. Besides that, standard D-Link. Shout out to Elise. Made this deck. She's insane.
Shout out to Lund for helping me a lot with the card choices.
Yes.
He's the GOAT.
Let's see. Shout out to Team Scheme.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Jibs and Bozo. Stay free. Let's see, what else? I got shot by my parents. shout out to my parents. Then when I go to this event, I got to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For a whole weekend. Shit. I gotta go to school back tomorrow. Let's go. So, it's nice. Anyway, but that's about it.
All right. Congratulations on the top 32, man. It's well deserved. And yeah, guys, this is TYP336. Sign out. Peace, guys.